everyone. Welcome to another episode in the Fourtress of a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture and nerd things. My name is R.I.P, one of your hosts today, and with me, per usual, you know him as New Reliable because he's here every week, but also know him as Mr. Negative on a Dragon Ball Z arc because that's who he is.
Because I'm also
But we
negative
love him.
every week.
Yes, Brian is here with me, per usual. How you doing, man?
We're doing okay. Living, relaxing ahead of this.
Yeah.
We can't talk about the weekend that's going to be existing because that will date this episode, and we can't do that.
I mean, yeah, sometimes we record early, sometimes we record late. It happens.
There is a holiday of some sort that exists in a calendar year.
Right? Yeah. Happy holidays, everyone. Yes, listeners, me and Brian, we're doing it up tonight. Depending on how long this episode is, it might be a mini-sode. Who knows, listeners? But also, you know this if you've heard me and Brian have just the two of us episodes in the past. We talk a lot.
We can't
so
shut the fuck up.
It might be a normal ass episode. We'll see. But with that, Brian, shall we head into our first topic? So our first segment of the week. My goodness.
Stroking out a little bit. It's okay.
Stroking out, yeah.
News talk.
First piece of news. This one hurts me so, Brian. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, the remake that has been in development hell. We got a little update. Well, it's not a great looking update. Ubisoft updated saying how it is now in the conception phase.
The conception phase
that has been in development for what feels like 4 years.
The conception phase was deciding whether or not you wanted to make a remake of this game. What do you mean a conception phase? Conception phase means that you are currently raw dogging your spouse of whatever sort to make a baby. That means you are still in the idea phase of a game that is already an idea. I don't understand. I thought this game personally had already hit the cutting floor and it was already scrapped. So the fact that they even said this, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I thought this was
I just want to know what the fuck happened. Last time we saw this game, they were shooting mocap. They were doing that shit. There was screenshots and what is all that in the bin? Where is it? Where does it exist?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be something that they were trying to do something, and then they played a test build, and they're like, "This isn't fun."
Right.
And then they just scrapped it all because I don't understand what else you could have been doing otherwise. If it was just the art part and you were like, no, this isn't working. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. And I'm sad because listeners will know that if they go way back into the bowels of the first 5 episodes of this podcast where we talked about our favorite games, this was one of my honorable mentions. This was nearly the top 3, top 5. I love The Sands of Time. This was a fucking incredible game.
Prince of Persia walked so many games could run. It was the definitive part of a generation, the same way that I don't know, Grand Theft Auto 5 or Fortnite was for its time. So for that game to be remade is really nostalgia for a lot of people. So a lot of people are really excited about it existing again, and it seems like it's not gonna be what we want.
This is turning to Kingdom Hearts 3. Where there's a lot of talking about this game and not much of anything else.
Remember when Duke Nukem 3D or Duke Nukem Infinite, whatever the fuck it came, it took 10 years to make that game and then it sucked.
And then it sucked. I just don't understand because it's you have the fucking structure of a phenomenal game. I don't know, we were talking about this a bit before we started recording. What are you trying to do that makes this so different? Are you trying to change so many, the combat aspects? I can get tweaking combat and everything, but as far as everything else goes, it's when you have games that Assassin's Creed that come out nearly a year, they what is going on?
Assassin's Creed exists because of Prince of Persia. Let's be real. That game. Yeah, I think it's something that I don't understand that a lot of games don't really stand the test of time, and that might be one of those games. Final Fantasy VII, of course, had a huge rehaul in the remake of that game, and I think everyone's trying to meet that kind of expectation, which I don't know that it should, because it makes situations like this. But it's yeah, I mean, otherwise you can make a remaster that'll probably sell really well and be fine.
Right.
But maybe they're just trying to be more ambitious than that. But I don't know what you do. Maybe they're trying to make a Witcher 3.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
We got side quests now in Prince of Persia.
You know what? Who knows? Maybe. But it is weird considering we saw them shooting mocaps with the actors doing all the
Did all the people from mocap die at the same time? What happened? Did they blow up the
Uh,
studio?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this game. Obviously, they also said it will not be shown at the Ubisoft Forward conference that they'll have in a couple weeks or whatever. But yeah, whatever.
I fully expect this to never come out. So I'm just not even going to put this in my mind. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, this is sadly we were also talking about this, sadly might be joining, Knights of the Old Republic as a game that may never actually exist as well, who knows? Who
Uh,
knows? Ugh, bummer. Alright, speaking of bummers, this is a real life bummer, next piece of news. Tina Turner died at 83 years old this past week. Kind of a shocker. 1, because I didn't realize Tina Turner was 83 years old. 2, that's not that old, especially for nowadays. And 3, I didn't know she lived in Switzerland, which is
I
pretty damn baller of her.
I was just looking at that, like her home in Switzerland. I was like, oh, she said, "Fuck
Yeah.
America." Shout out to her. No, I mean Tina Turner is up there with the best, with Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
Prince, that kind of situation. So to see her leave the earth is a really sad situation. No, she'll always be hailed as like what the queen of rock. Honestly, she's queen of rock and
Yeah,
roll.
dude. She's phenomenal. I also had the privilege of going to see the musical Tina, which based off her life, which was phenomenal and just like just such a good fun time, but also like yeah, her life was tough at times, and she had a lot of things and going on and struggles, much like I would imagine a lot of people. But she, yeah, what an icon. R.I.P. Tina Turner. You will be very much missed. We'll be playing your music for probably weeks and weeks and years and millennia to come.
Absolutely.
All right, Brian. One last piece of news, but we have to enter the trailer park once again this week. Let's do it.
Mom Spaghetti.
Bow down, break it down, bow down, break it down, bown down. We got to do it every time. It's just one of those
I'm
things.
I'm I love it. I'm getting used. I just love it. I love it. It's great.
It gets more and more racist every time.
One quick trailer just literally dropped on whatever date it is today. I'm not saying. Um, for the Barbie movie, Barbie, the main trailer is finally dropped. Man, I don't know why I'm so excited for this fucking movie,
I was
dude.
gonna say the
I'm
same
so
thing.
stoked.
When I first heard this announced, I didn't give a shit about it because why do I care about Barbie? But the more and more I see about this movie, the more I'm like, I could see this day one. I could see myself going to see this movie day one.
Dude,
It looks phenomenal.
it looks so fun. Like, it's very much like the obvious. Yeah, it's like Elf, which is funny because Will Ferrell's in this movie. Barbie going to the real world and type of shit. But I think the gags look good.
Yeah,
Like the whole thing with how Barbie's like, I got flat feet now. I'm not on my toes no more, and they're all freaking out like shit like that. Ryan Gosling looks fucking ridiculous as Ken, as one of the Kens, I guess. Yeah, it just looks like so much fun. And then the last thing, at least for me, that I'm excited about at the very end of the trailer, they used the song. They got the Barbie World song, the one that everyone was like, that song better be in that fucking movie. And it's in the end of this trailer with a twist. It sounds like Nicki Minaj gonna do some kind of remix with it.
I love them getting some royalties for that shit ass song that existed because it's one of those things that it's like just burned into your cranium if you were alive during
Oh
that
yeah.
time.
Yep.
Despite it being a terrible song, and not even I don't even know if they made another song after that.
I don't even know who made that song, Brian.
I know there was a black man involved in one part of it, and that was weird. Uh, yeah, it's just it's weird, but I am interested in Ryan Gosling being like kind of like the. I love when they portray Ken as like a super like airhead bimbo kind of like, oh, I'm just happy
He's
to be
also
here.
kind of a misogynist as well, where he's like he only thinks men can be doctors.
Which I mean, that makes fun of Barbie because for a long time, Barbie did not have any of those characters. That wasn't
Mhm.
until like probably our childhood, like the '90s, that
Probably.
started upping its ante.
Yeah.
I did hear fun fact that at one point they were trying to get Gal Gadot in here,
Oh.
saying that she gives a lot of Barbie energy and she's very beautiful. She's also sincere, but unfortunately she was busy during that time. And I will say, thank God she's not in this movie.
What if she is just like another cameo, her third cameo for the year in this movie?
Homegirl got time right now.
Right?
No, and how I feel about Brie Larson, I think that she often gives us a whole lot of nothing, a nothing sandwich, as you will, two pieces of
Hmm.
bread and air. So I'm perfectly fine with her not being in this movie. No offense. I like the first Wonder Woman. The second one is god awful.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right. This coming out July, end of July. I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
I'm probably gonna see this fucking weekend it comes out. If I hear it's phenomenal, I'm gonna definitely go see this. I
Oh, it's
love Margot
bad. That's
Robbie.
gonna ruin my life.
It's gonna be a real bummer. But I do one thing. I love the tagline where it's like, if you love Barbie, or you hate Barbie, this is the movie for you. I love how yeah.
Listen, they say Margot Robbie can't sell tickets. We about to see, baby.
We about to see. We about to see. All right, that is the news, listeners. We have done it once again. Brian, shall we now head into our main topic of the week?
I'm ready. I hope you're ready.
I'm not. I'm disappointed.
Oh no.
So,
Nar
because
nar.
listeners, this week, listeners, because of the holiday weekend time crunch, we have decided to make our main topic. Sony, they did a thing. They did a thing. So we're in the fortress of
PlayStation Showcase of 2023. I don't know what we should call this. State of
the
Play plus
extended state of
point
play.
0.5. Yeah.
Yes, listeners. So Sony had a what they call their PlayStation Showcase 2023, right ahead of Summer Game Fest coming up in a couple weeks or a week and a half or whatever, and all of the other fake E3 things, where they promised it was gonna be like an hour 10 minutes of greatness. It was not.
We got an hour 20 minutes of midness.
A lot of mid, kind of boring shit. I'm not gonna yo, we'll get into it. We'll probably start with Spider-Man, but not gonna lie, Spider-Man fucking carried the hell out of this shit. My god, but also it wasn't enough to carry it to, like, that was great. It's
Yeah.
still just like, yo, that was I coulda just watched the last 10 minutes and felt a lot better about my day.
We're in a weird place. I'm gonna say it right now. This is a future prediction. I'm talking about years in
Oh
advance.
boy.
This could be the worst console generation of all time.
You might not be wrong, bro. You might
This could be the worst console generation of all time because we are currently halfway through a standard life cycle of a console generation,
ugh.
and most consoles have maybe 8 to 10 games to play that are worth playing.
Yeah, don't tell me halfway. If they try to sell me a PS6 in 4 years, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm
Which they
gonna be
absolutely
I'm
might.
gonna be fucking pissed.
Based on what we've heard so far, they absolutely might.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know what like, we talked about this a little before we recorded as well. Like, this should have been, like, we're joking, an extended state of play. This did not feel like a big showcase. It did not feel like a big E3 thing. It felt like the hype was going into it felt like, "Oh, this we're back. E3 type of shit is back. Here we go. Sony's doing something, maybe Xbox will do something, blah, 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 blah." And it was just a kind of a bummer, dude. Like, I wish this was a half-hour state of play.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing is going into the summer months is we know that E3 got canceled this year because no one said they were coming because they decided they wanted to do their own thing because during COVID,
Right.
everyone realized that was a much cheaper option. This could be their summer thing. We really don't know outside of Summer Games Fest whether or not this is going to be the thing that they do that's supposed to be the big showcase for what's coming in the next 12 months, I assume.
Yeah.
That is not boding well as far as like keeping customer appreciation for what you're doing. Because
Yeah.
for one of the things we'll end up talking about is a lot of these games aren't even PlayStation exclusives. A lot of these aren't even first party
No.
games.
No.
In fact, only like one is, and
Basically.
that's a little rough. A lot of these games are coming out on Xbox, and Xbox made a joke about that on Twitter, and woof,
Yeah.
that caught some
Look,
fire.
I'm just saying, like, Xbox is in the best position they could be to actually win a conference war for 1 month. Like, if theirs isn't better than this, I'm worried too about
Right.
it. Like you, this is your shot. This is your chance.
It reminds me of like halfway through the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3's life cycle, where PlayStation 3 started like actually get their footing. This could be the
Right.
footing that Xbox needs to maybe show some shit
It
that
could be.
is
Do I trust them? No,
no,
but it could
absolutely
be.
not. Phil Spencer's already lost all our trust by saying that he knows that they already lost the console war, and that's a little rough. But
Ay, ay,
if they
ay,
can,
ay, ay. So let's get into this actual this showcase as again, we're not gonna go in order, listeners. We're not gonna cover everything because not gonna lie, everything wasn't worth talking about. No offense to any of those games. I'm sure there's a demographic of people that love them, but we don't got that much time. So we're gonna hit a lot of the big hitters and see where we're at, and then we'll try to go back and talk about other things. Obviously, we're gonna start with the finale to this, which was Spider-Man 2, which my God, this game looks so good, dude. Fuck, this right here, this extended like 10-minute gameplay demo was like the old school kind of E3 shit I used to remember getting hyped about
yeah.
way back when. Like this shit was it for me.
Spider-Man's getting its fucking flowers over the past decade, for real. Like this,
Yeah,
Spider-Man
dude.
has only had W's. It seems like for the past
It's
like
true.
10 years, and I think this is just continuing on that reign where it comes down to it. Where I still haven't played any of the new Spider-Man games since the original Spider-Man was it 2016 that game came out. If that's when it came out, that's gonna
Yes.
make me sad because that's a long time. So now I feel really bad. 18. It was 18.
Maybe
2018.
18.
It's
It might
2018.
be 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Miles Morales came out was it 2020. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I haven't played
Yeah.
them, but they look phenomenal. I remember Spider-Man 2 on what was it, PlayStation 2. That shit was super dope.
Right. That was the best.
Yeah, that game seems to these games seem to kind of like bring that to even further. It's like what we thought Spider-Man 2 in that PlayStation 2
Yeah.
era was. These games realized that God, it just looks like it's what makes video games fun. It just looks like it's a
Mhm.
fun game to play. Like there's just something Insomniac is just hitting when it comes out, making a
Dude,
game that feels good.
I don't know how they keep pumping this shit out. They've got over the past 2 years, they put out like 4 games. They
Oh,
got Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank. Now, like what? And they're doing a Wolverine game as well.
I know
Like,
their devs are crying and screaming and kicking.
like what the fuck, dude?
I hope they're getting
I
paid
can't
well.
believe it. They doing some kind of magic over there. I can't. That's nuts. That's nuts. Yeah, like I love the whole like switching the Miles in the middle of a battle from Peter to Miles because obviously you can play both of them, which is cool. No co-op, they said, which I never believed there would be co-op in this game. They're strictly single player shit, which co-op would have been cool, but I could totally see them being like, this is a big game. Adding co-op would be so many more issues for us to deal
Yeah.
with. Let's just
Don't even
let's just try to get this.
attempt to promise that to people because they're just gonna end up
Yeah.
disappointing everybody.
Exactly. I don't know why, but I was genuinely surprised to see them starting out with Peter's got the symbiote. He's got the
Yeah.
suit, the black suit already, and it's already changing his personality as you can tell in the trailer. He's getting angrier and more aggressive and shit. Which that's gonna be fun to be able to have new powers. That's the and all that other shit. We know Venom's gonna be in this game, obviously. So I do wonder if that means like at a certain point you will lose all of those abilities and not
Right.
ever be able to get them back. Which is interesting. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, we'll definitely see. Oh, I do know one thing is people hate the PS5 version of Peter, and they're really disappointed
Oh.
that all the cool parts we're going to see about the symbiote Spider-Man suit is going to be with the face that looks like that man,
Yeah.
that gentleman that we see.
That weird amalgamation of all the Peter Parkers in the
Yeah, which
world.
I'm really not sure why they made that change. I don't know that that was a good
They
change.
said it was like they did it for like an in-engine thing. It was easier. Like the
Mm,
old face model just didn't work in terms of what they wanted to go with, which I was like, that's a okay. A weird reason, but okay. Feel like you're dissing on the other dude's face, but whatever.
right.
Yeah, man. Like again, they say fall 2023, no actual dates, but it looks so sick.
Yeah.
And, like, I love how the environments look different. Like, the lighting in this blew me away. When they're fucking swinging on the East River or they're in Queens, which that's a new environment. I love being able to see more of New York and this world. Looks dope, dude. I am so fucking jazzed for this.
Yeah, it's kind of funny and sad. I mean, I'm happy that it still got the hype that it deserved, but this got leaked pretty early this year that this was coming out about fall 2023. I can't remember how it happened. It might have got
Right.
put on the PlayStation Store or something goofy like that.
No. It was, Tony Todd, the actor that plays Candyman?
Yeah, yeah.
He's the voice actor for Venom, and he just straight up said it comes out this year.
I know they're pissed at this man over that.
He doesn't give no shits.
I remember that shit came out the same time that we heard about Jedi Survivor coming out because that also got leaked. And I think maybe that got leaked to the PlayStation Store. One of them got leaked to the PlayStation
Mm.
Store. And this happened around the same time. And it was all like, oh, well, we now know this. This game is coming out.
Right,
That being
right.
said, the trailer still looks great. And I still love that we got to see some really cool gameplay, especially with Symbiote Spider Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, this excites me to play the other games finally.
I think you'd enjoy them.
Oh,
They're
for sure.
fun.
I'm
They're
sure.
definitely good. The story is solid, both like that and Miles Morales. Miles Morales is amazing. I fucking loved that game.
Yeah.
It's shorter than Spider-Man, which at the time I loved because it was shorter. I was like, hell yeah, give me this.
I just love me a short game. In 2023, as a 31-year-old man, I know we're really like, we got to make games as long as possible so we can really get our money out
No.
of it. If you give me a solid 10-hour game that just is a good game, I'm sold. I don't care. I'll pay the money for it.
Right. Absolutely. Man, because by this conference I was a little upset about what was being shown. So for a split second, how it started with like the Craven intro,
Mhm.
where obviously Craven the Hunter's in this, and then it cut to black. I was like, man, that better not be the end of it. They better cut back to this fucking game. That if that's the end, this was an F. This is the worst shit ever. Thank God they didn't do that.
Oh, God.
Whew, that was almost rough. um, all right. Moving on to I think would probably be both of our second biggest thing. Metal Gear Solid Delta is what they've called it. It's not a triangle.
Everyone
It's
kept
not a
saying triangle,
three.
and that was pissing me off. No one's going to call it Metal Gear Solid Triangle. What's wrong with you people?
Snake Eater, the remake that most people assumed was coming, is officially here. It's a CG trailer, which I'm not crazy about, but
Right.
eh,
We're not going to know where this is going to go as far as gameplay goes. We don't know if it's going to be a Final Fantasy situation or it's going to be something else. Obviously, we know this game came out originally on PlayStation 2 and then was actually ported and actually updated a little bit for PSP when they called it Subsistence, I believe is what it was called at the time, where they actually changed the way the gameplay worked. Because if anyone played the first three Metal Gear Solid games, they know that it was tank controls and a little goofy when it comes to playing on new generation systems, which leads me to
Right.
wonder what the fuck is this game going to look like? And also,
Woo.
why did they start with three? I mean, I guess I know why they started with three because as far as chronologically, it is before Metal Gear Solid 1. That would be my
Right.
only thought process behind starting with this one, which
Which could be cool. It could be like I didn't think about that until I read up on that. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's true." And so if that means though that they're going to continue to remake the rest after this cuz me and you have been complaining and clamoring for a fucking one remake for years. But if that means that we're a step closer to that, then I'm okay with it. Then
right.
I'm absolutely okay with this being the first one that they do. Because everyone also, I would imagine most people think that this is probably the best one out of all of them.
Another genre defining game, Metal Gear Solid 3
Yeah,
was hailed in the community when it came out as one of the best games of all time. Hideo Kojima's a
yeah,
fucking crazy psychopath of a man and a genius at the same time. And this game
yeah.
is one of those games that definitely show that.
Absolutely. Oh, that was the other thing. At the very end, they also revealed the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, Volume 1, which was Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, Sons of Liberty, and 3, Snake Eater, which is weird considering it was announced after the remake, whatever.
They saw
Uh,
what Grand Theft Auto did with their fucking trilogy and was
yeah,
like, we're not doing
yeah.
that. We're not taking away the old way you can play this game so you can play the new
Right.
game. We'll still let you guys
Yeah.
play the old version if you prefer it. And thank God for that.
Yes. That will be coming autumn of 2023. My question is, it's labeled Volume 1. Does that mean is 4 coming? Is 4 coming?
4 has been stuck on PlayStation 3 and also really hard to emulate for how many years now?
Since 2009.
We gotta get to a point where we allow people to enjoy one of was arguably probably one of the best Metal Gear Solid games to exist. I want to play
One
it.
of the best games ever fucking made.
I haven't played it yet because I don't own a PlayStation 3 and I never will. Fucking let me play this game. I even have Metal Gear Solid 5. Why do I have Metal Gear Solid 5
Right.
but not 4?
I would absolutely love for the world to play that game. That game I think it was my number 3 or number 2 of all time. I've beaten that game, I think 22 times over
God
the course of
damn.
my life. It's fucking unbelievable. It's amazing. Yeah, we'll see where Metal Gear Solid Triangle goes. Um,
I mean, knowing that they're gonna be releasing the remaster versions or whatever leads me to believe that they're going with another Final Fantasy VII situation where they're trying to build this game from the ground up.
right.
My
Oh,
thing
yeah.
is, are they going to go with the Metal Gear Solid 4, Solid 5 kind of situation, or what are they gonna
Oh,
base this
that's
off of? The
true.
same way that Resident Evil like 1, 2, and 3, the remakes have been based off of like the Resident Evil 4 and a head
Right.
engine. Do you think they're gonna do something similar to that, where they kind
Look,
of change
I'm
it
not
that way?
gonna lie. I don't want Konami to make a new anything. I don't trust them to make a new engine on anything. So if that means they got to use the 5 engine, use the 5 engine because we know it works. I don't look. I still don't trust Konami, and I'm upset that they're the ones that are gonna make all the money from this. Because I mean, we all know the history of what happened with Kojima and Konami, and that huge falling out.
If they aren't paying Hideo Kojima for making this game, they deserve nothing, and I hope they all lose their small toe, just the little toe. Not enough that they can't walk anymore, but enough they
Just
have
enough that
discomfort.
they lose some
Yeah,
balance.
yeah, yeah. That you trip a lot, because fuck you for that. But that's also a thing. I feel like with we all know that Hideo Kojima is very big in the game industry. That I feel like if they did make this without his grace, I feel
Right.
like he would have said something by now, and I feel like people would take his word
Right.
pretty strongly. Like he's not a nobody by any means.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll see. Like again, this game we probably won't see this game for 3 years
Damn,
minimum.
that makes me sad.
I would be shocked. Who knows? Who knows? I would be shocked if it's before 2026.
Damn,
um,
I would say late 2025. I say fall 2025. This game's gonna come out.
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
That's 2.5 years from now. I could see that.
At that point, we've already finished and 100%ed the remaster collection or whatever.
Right.
So.
All righty. Those are pretty much, I think, the two biggest heavy hitters, at least for me.
Oh, fun fact! This game's gonna come
Uh-huh.
out for Xbox as well. Uh,
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. Yeah, it's absolutely also coming out for Xbox. Oh yeah, and the Konami explained why it's a Delta symbol. They were saying because Delta stands for rebirth and some shit like that. Whatever.
cool,
It's fine.
awesome.
Cool.
Anyway,
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna go back and hit a couple other kind of coolish things, kind of the one of them being not a game. This was, and I don't even know if this is cool or weird. Sony, they also announced their latest accessories for the PlayStation 5. One being basically a tablet with the dual sense controllers on the edge, and it's a Switch thing and or a Steam Deck thing.
We better apologize to the Wii U right fucking now. Because we treated the Wii U potentially a little too harshly. Doesn't this already basically exist? I don't understand. I know I can play my Xbox games on my phone right now, and I can just buy a controller for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And put all my Xbox games onto my phone. Is that not? Can PlayStation not do that?
I mean, I don't no, I think I like there's crossplay, there's apps. I could play my PS5 through like my phone or an iPad or
Right.
some shit, but I don't know. I think this Sony just make more money. I bet you this thing is gonna cost like
Oh, I'm
$400.
sure. Sony has no idea how to price peripherals. They're so bad at it. And that's why the PSVR 2 is currently failing right now.
Yeah, it's not doing well. Oof, rough. Look, I positively, it looks cool. It looks sleek. The screen is, I think it's like 8-inch screen, so it's big. And I do like that they didn't try to make like new weird controllers on the side. It's literally they just ripped a fucking dual sense controller in half, put a screen in between them, and then attach them again, which I love because I think that controller is good and that'll feel good in your hands, unlike like a Switch where I hate those tiny ass little Joy-Cons and they need to make them bigger.
We know they can't make a controller. Nintendo's never made a good controller a day in their life. Let's be real. The last good
That's
controller
fair.
was the Nintendo, the original.
Right? It had 3 buttons. So I like that they didn't try to do too much. It's just kind of funny. It just feels a little funny and slightly unnecessary, but whatever.
I mean, yeah, I
I
guess
don't
they're
know.
making fun of. I don't know. I'm still torn on this personally. Because yeah, 8 inches. That's we know that the Nintendo Switch screen. I think the original is like 6 point something, and then the OLED
Mhm.
is 7. So that's pretty small. But also,
Mhm.
these games don't garner the fidelity that a PlayStation 5 system does. The
Right.
reason that I don't use, at least, I have Game Pass for PC or whatever. The reason I don't use that for my phone personally is I just don't want to play a game that's that good looking on a small, I don't know, a small
Exactly.
peripheral. So that's just never
Yeah.
really, and maybe it's just not for me. And maybe I'm just one of the minority when it comes to this kind of
I
thing. But I just don't
absolutely think that
see,
me and you might be in the minority.
we absolutely could, but I just feel like if I'm gonna play a game that's that visually impressive, I'm not gonna sit there and play it on my phone because I feel like it's the same way. Someone said something about this. It might have been like Christopher Nolan or something that was just like watching a movie on a phone is so fucking stupid because you're not getting,
Right.
you're not getting the experience out of it. And I 100% agree with them. I don't watch anything other than like maybe shitty TV when I'm like waiting for like my laundry to be done or something on my phone.
Right.
I won't watch like, I don't know, The Batman on my fucking, you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense for me to
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
And once again, maybe I'm in the minority and everybody else is like, yeah, I want to watch a fucking 5-star movie on
Yeah.
my fucking iPhone. It just,
Right.
I don't know. I I hope it does well. I hope people that have been wanting this are like, hell yeah, brother. I'll never get it. I know for a fact I'll never get
I don't know, man. It's
it.
yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but hey, they're on top so they can feel like they can do whatever.
Yeah, I just feel like Final Fantasy 16 on the bus just doesn't feel like a good experience to me. I don't know.
Yeah, especially because I could be wrong, but I don't know what their model is in terms of is it like because it's actually no, I think it's not cloud based.
Hmm.
It's not
So we're
like
going more Steam Deck kind of situation.
yeah,
As
I think
opposed to
so. Like
like we said, like it's everything that you play like the Xbox Game Pass and stuff is cloud based, so you have to be like on a good internet connection in order to play the games. I'm
right.
assuming this has its own hardware to run these games.
We'll see. We'll see whenever this drops. Who knows? They also announced some earbuds, which cool.
I've never loved PlayStation license stuff like that. You can
Yeah,
buy
me either.
other brand stuff that's probably much better and you'll enjoy it a lot more.
Right. All right, next up. This was just a last minute funny thing, which I totally believe that they did, but I couldn't believe it. They showed another like a scene from the Gran Turismo movie coming out. It was like right at the tail end of this, so I was like, "This better not be how you end it. You are not showing me the fucking trailer for Gran Turismo right now." I was so upset. I was so upset.
I'm not. Gran Turismo looks fucking dope, bro. I
It
want to see
looks
the shit out of
dope.
that movie though.
But I've already I don't need to I got it. You got my ticket. You got me. Everyone who's watching this knows this movie exists.
That's fair.
All right. This one is just favorite of mine. Destiny 2, The Final Shape. They showed a teaser trailer. And then spoilers for Destiny 2, I guess. The story, the lore. They're bringing back a beloved character that was killed off many, many years ago. and I'm very excited. Honestly, Brian, I might have to buy this expansion. This is the finale, they
I
say.
hope you do.
This is the end of this saga. I might actually buy this, but who
I
knows?
feel like at this
I
point, with
might
the
change
amount
my
of
mind.
hours you put in this, they deserve your money. They deserve your money at this point. I'm not usually a capitalist stan,
I,
but at
I
least
give them,
maybe not the most
I
recent
give them
expansion. That's
$0.
so funny. Is you played thousands of hours and giving them $0.
I played like nearly 900
You
hours. I'm
you
giving them zero
you
money.
are Bungie's worst enemy when it comes to making freemium games. Like you're what everybody fears when they make freemium games, that someone's gonna actually
Absolutely.
play the game and not spend a dime.
Yep.
It's the people that go to the gym and like actually use their gym membership while paying for it. And it's like, God damn it, you're not supposed to come in here.
Right? You're supposed to forget about this for months and then come back.
No, but I love that. We all know that the most recent expansion was met with detrimental reviews about
A little
being
bit.
incredibly. I think it was probably mid, but I think people were so mad about how mid it was, they rated it really poorly.
Right.
So I'm really hoping that they can win back good grace of their audience, because people love Destiny. They are
Yeah.
feral about this game.
Yeah, man. See, they also announced that they're having like a Bungie's announcing having a Destiny 2 conference of their own in August, I believe on the 22nd. So that'll be cool.
A conference of their own? They only make one game right now.
That shit better be 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's like Bethesda. They keep telling us about these two
Right.
games that are supposed to come out in 12 years from now. I don't care
Oh, it's
anymore,
so
bro.
funny.
Show me the game.
Speaking of excited, and I don't know why I'm excited for this, Brian. Maybe you'll be able to tell me. Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm very excited for this, and I don't know why.
I
I don't know
cannot tell
why.
you. I've not played Assassin's Creed game in so long. I'm just collecting all the ones that go on sale for $3 and not playing a single one of
Right?
them.
I haven't even played the last one.
Yeah, Valhalla. I actually just bought Valhalla recently because it cost $3, and I was like, "Why the fuck not? Maybe someday
Why
I'll
not?
play it." I'm not gonna play that fucking game.
Yeah, like I love how it's apparently a lot smaller. It's basically this is their celebration of the franchise in terms of, because I think they just passed the 30th anniversary and this game was supposed to come out this past year, but they missed it.
I'm sorry. No way, it's 30th anniversary. 30th anniversary
Maybe
of
20th,
okay, I was about to
20
say
or 25th, maybe.
it got to be 20th. I would say the Assassin's Creed 1 probably had to come out in 2003. 30 years, crazy. That's like Sonic level. I remember playing Assassin's Creed on the Sega Genesis.
Okay, no, 'cause Assassin's Creed 1 came out in 2007.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That was around the time that Call of Duty and Halo 3 and stuff like
Yeah.
that were coming out. Yeah.
But yeah, I just like how, yeah, the setting, the characters, the obvious homages to the original in terms of traversal and stealth and shit. I'm excited. If it means if I can beat this game in 35 hours, I'll love it.
I
I'll love
love
it.
that 35 hours is short for you as far as Assassin's Creed go. That's crazy.
The last one
That's
took me like
wild.
180
That's
hours. It was
so
awful.
wild. But that's the thing, is it's not even fun. It's just chores after a certain point. It's not like Witcher 3, where you're still getting like
Right.
engrossed in story. There gets to a point in every
Ugh.
Assassin's Creed game where you do all that you need to do, and everything else is just chores. And I'm not immersed
Yeah.
anymore. I'm just doing chores. If I want to clean my
Yeah.
fucking bathroom, I'll just clean my bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I
Yeah.
can't get into these games. I don't know.
That's why I'm scared to touch Valhalla,
Yeah.
because I know like it's 250 hours waiting for me there that I don't want to play.
Looking at this trailer, we're getting to like a weird point. I don't know. I guess they're still using probably an old engine. I don't know what engine Assassin's Creed runs on. Maybe it's like Unreal
Mhm.
4. Maybe it doesn't look that much more impressive than Valhalla, or even like
It
what
doesn't.
was the one, Odyssey.
Yeah, it
I'm
doesn't.
wondering if they're just, maybe that's so they can make games quicker. They're just, they're not trying to rebuild from the ground up anymore.
That, and probably because this is also probably coming out for last gen consoles, I would imagine as well.
That's true. I don't know if we're still making PlayStation 4 games. I was hoping we were.
Yeah. Again, like you said, we're halfway through the lifespan. Why is this a thing? What is happening? I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. There's a little lackluster in terms of some of the things. I think I'm more just excited about the idea of
Yeah,
it more
absolutely.
than the actual look. We'll see. That comes out this fall,
God damn.
autumn, whatever as well.
More power to y'all. I'm glad y'all like that game.
Alan Wake 2. Brian, did you ever play Alan Wake?
I did not. That's another one of the games that I have, and I've never even considered playing, but I know a lot of people love it. So that's probably why I bought it 12 years ago, or I got it for free. One of the two.
Yeah, it always interested me as a concept. But then I also heard it wasn't very good. But this looks decent. It looked like this could be pretty good. Graphically, it looks very good.
Yeah.
I will say.
I like the lighting of it.
Yeah, but this could be good. I hope so. It's been a very long time since that first one.
Yeah. To the point they remastered the first one. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I think they might have
Yeah.
remastered it for like PS4 and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I think I have the remaster. Beloved
Yeah.
franchise. I don't even know if I want to call it a franchise. One game,
It's one g
but people love that game. It definitely has like a niche community for sure. So I know a lot of
Yeah,
people are super excited about this. So maybe this will get some more people into this franchise for sure.
absolutely. We'll see. That comes out October 17th. We'll see if it's good.
Looks a little scary, but I might try it.
Does.
I can't do scary games personally. I'm a little pussy baby. But I've been trying my best. I've been buying the Resident Evil games to plan to actually play through them as a whole.
Nice,
The only
nice.
Resident Evil game I've beaten, probably ever, honestly, it's been Final Fantasy. Same difference.
The only Resident Evil game I played
Was
is
Final
Final
Fantasy 7.
Fantasy.
Resident Evil 8, because that game wasn't very scary, and I made sure it wasn't scary before I played it.
That's funny. Next, we've talked about this game in the past, but they showed it, and I can't get enough of looking at it. The Plucky Squire. It just looks so fucking good. The 2D, the 3D, just like it just looks so impressive and creative, and I want to play it. And it just looks like, I hope it's so good. It looks amazing. And I can't get enough of just watching this game.
It looks like a game that would come out for the Nintendo Switch. It doesn't look like a PlayStation game.
It does.
But I wonder if it'll have like the same like beloved community that like say I don't know Little Big Planet has or something like that. I'm hoping it gets to that
Right.
kind of level.
That or like a Cuphead.
Yeah, as far as like reception goes, probably gonna be a Cuphead where it's like not the biggest game to ever come out on Earth, but it's definitely gonna have like it's gonna be one of those sleeper hits.
Right.
That it's gonna be like,
Right.
yo man, if you got PlayStation, like don't miss that shit.
Yeah. It looks very fun. Very fun. Game that doesn't look very fun. Foamstars.
Oh,
This looks, I mean, I've been calling it soapy Splatoon because that's all it fucking looks like. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What is this?" This was the part of the showcase where I was like, "What are we doing? What are we doing here?"
yeah, it's 100%. We saw Splatoon's doing well. We want to make our own fake Splatoon. It reminds me of the All Stars beat 'em up. They're trying to be
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers, where it's like they saw
Yep.
Fortnite, they saw Splatoon, and they were like, "We're gonna make a game that's Fortnite with Splatoon." It's not gonna do well. It's gonna be one of those games that stops. The servers are gonna shut down a year after it comes out.
Shit, I'll give you 6 months.
6 months, damn.
Honestly, I'm surprised there hasn't been more Splatoon clones like this,
Yeah,
like how long Splatoon's been out. It's kinda shocking. But yeah, this just looks kinda boring. This looks like a game that'll be free on PS Plus when it first comes out, and that'll be it.
yeah. I'm gonna say I expect a battle pass. I expect them not to update in a timely manner, and then the only few people that really love the game are gonna get upset, and then the game's not gonna
Yep.
exist anymore.
Yep.
I hate to be that person, but this is exactly how that game reads to me from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. But a game that doesn't look like a bit of a bummer, Phantom Blade Zero. This one piqued my interest just aesthetically. It looks dope. I love it's very like black and whitish, and apparently it might be a Dark Soulsy type of game, which I kind of wish it wasn't, but whatever.
Yeah,
Everything's
that's a
doing that.
genre I'm getting over at this point.
I just want to play a game that doesn't. I don't have to beat my head into to win. Sometimes.
I'm telling you, it's a turnoff for me. But as soon as I hear something's a Souls clone, I'm like, yep, okay, well, I'm not playing that game. 'Cause I'm too old, man. I don't have the time for this shit.
Yeah, but it looks dope. It looks really cool. I liked all the imagery of it. I like the idea. I wonder how much of this will come into play. There's a line in the trailer where they say, "You only have 60 days to live. What are you gonna do?" And so I wonder if that will be an idea throughout this thing.
Oh, kind of like a Sifu kind of situation where it's like Sifu did
Yeah,
a thing where it's
maybe.
like every time you died, you age.
Right.
And when you get to a certain age, you die and you just lose the entire game. I wonder if something like that.
Right.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
Art team, shout out to them. I don't know what the gameplay is
Yes.
going to look like, but the art team, like they worked their ass off for this.
Mm-hmm.
I love a thing where it's just like the only color you see is red with like the blood or something. It's very Kill Bill esque kind of situation.
Yeah. It honestly reminded me of that Star Wars Vision short,
Yeah,
Volume 1. I was like,
uh-huh.
this looks dope.
Yeah. And it's really interesting how I guess Ghost of Tsushima did so well that people are, and Sekiro as well, that people
Yeah.
are very like rabid for the Asian culture kind of games
Mhm.
right now.
Absolutely. We'll see how well this does. It looks dope.
Yeah.
Other one, this was a bit of a shocker. I have this game, but I've never touched it. Ghostrunner II. I know
Oh,
Ghostrunner is a beloved game. It looks amazing. I'm glad this is getting a sequel. It looks cool as shit. It made me want to go play Ghost Wanna Run, but when I have time, I'll probably boot that up. But yeah, very cool.
yeah, I don't know shit about this game. I was like,
It's
oh,
like a
that's cool.
platforming,
Yeah.
first person. You're like a stealth, I think like a robot ninja or some shit. Very quick paced, parkour type stuff. Think like Mirror's Edge, but on crack. um,
Yeah, I mean, I love some cyberpunk stuff, so it might be a
yeah,
game that would interest me, but we'll see.
we'll see. Those were all of the big hitters. I want to ask you about a couple, Brian, because you're. I feel like you're more of the Bungie expert than I am. They announced Marathon.
Oh.
I had never heard of.
Oh, yeah, so that was Bungie's, first game before Halo even came to conception.
Right.
They made Marathon, and that was a game that actually came out on, the Mac originally back in,
Wow.
like, '94, back when everyone was making Doom clones, and they made their own kind of take on it with, Marathon. So, yeah, Marathon is being reintroduced in 2023. They're taking another stab at it since the Halo franchise, and it is met with a lot of discourse as far
Oh,
as
really?
what people are thinking of. So,
Okay. Let me know. Let me know.
the original game, of course, was a first-person shooter. It was a single-player game. I don't even know if it had. I don't think it had any multiplayer to begin with. I'm not super familiar. I've only played it on an emulator before, personally. However, they're making this game a PvP extraction shooter. For people that doesn't know what that is, if you ever heard of the game Escape from Tarkov, that is a game that's caught
Mm,
a lot of kind of like flashiness right now, made by a Russian company. That's basically you go in, you get loot, you kill people, you get out. And that's basically what you're supposed to be doing in the game. I think that's a very genre defining game, similar to the way to Fortnite was with Battle Royale. So I think in the next coming years, we're going to see a lot of games that are going to play around what Escape from Tarkov did. And this
right.
is one of the first clones of it. And I am not excited
Oh
about that.
no. Oh no.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing about this company that makes Escape from Tarkov is they're like super indie. So when
Mhm.
any someone that you never heard of make a good game, everyone that's big is gonna try to steal that idea and try to make it better by just putting
Right.
more dollars into it.
You're right.
A lot of people that are super big Marathon fans think they're bastardizing the franchise by making it a extraction shooter. They also think they're bastardizing the concept by making it
Mm.
a completely different aesthetic from what the game is. The game is pretty dark. It's a dark looking game.
Hmm.
It's kind of like, I don't know, almost like if you've ever played Halo, the flood kind of levels of Halo where you're fighting against like the zombies and stuff. It's kind of
Mhm.
supposed to be like that. So when you boot
Hmm.
up this trailer and you see cyberpunk looking glowing colors, weird faces, stuff like that, people weren't super excited to see that.
Right, right. I mean, it looks like a combination of Destiny and Apex Legends,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
at the end of this, I didn't know what it was. I was like, is this Bungie's version of a battle royale? I
Yeah.
genuinely thought that.
I never would have called Marathon. I never would have thought that that's what this game was. Yeah, me personally, I have no interest of Marathon, so it's not really a negative point for me. I am just
Right.
worried that they are going to be doing something that maybe they don't need to have their hands in, and it might make for something that's just a little soulless. But of
Mm,
course, we saw a
interesting.
CG trailer. We didn't really see any gameplay or anything like that, so I can't
Yeah,
really talk to what the game's going to be like. Will I play it? I don't know. I don't know. That's a franchise that I'm really interested in, a genre that I'm really interested in.
right.
But I hope it's good.
I mean, it's cool that Bungie's doing something else
Yeah, yeah.
besides Destiny, you
Right.
know?
I mean, outside of Halo, Destiny's been their cash cow for years and years and
Yeah.
years now since Halo Reach. So it's time for them to maybe shake things up a little bit. So to bring back Marathon is cool.
Yeah, and out of everything, I trust Bungie in terms of first person shooter mechanics. Like I think Destiny, whether or not the story's there for you or anything like that, I think
Feels
the
good to play.
shooting mechanics is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good to play. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
I'm cautiously excited. If people say it's good, I'll play it.
Right, right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Brian, can you tell me what the fuck Dragon's Dogma is, so we can talk about Dragon's Dogma 2?
I can barely tell you what Dragon's Dogma is because I haven't played it either. I just know that it is a beloved game with the community and it is always on sale. But I believe it's kind of like yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought the game for like $3 or something like that.
When did the first one come out?
So the first one came out, I want to say it was like 2012, I believe, is when it came out. So it's kind of like that
Okay.
that
Okay.
level of things, and it's like an action RPG kind of game. It's developed by Capcom, so it's gonna be super kind of weeby Japanese anime, which is actually kind of like one of its strong points in this, where it's like pretty over the top. It's one of those games where it's like you start out learning the ropes, next thing you know, you're killing God. Uh,
Jesus.
so
Alrighty then.
it's that kind of game. But people love this. I know one of the big things is the fact that you can create your own character, and me personally,
Mm.
if a game has a character creator, I'm sold. I love a dress up game. Sue me.
Yeah.
I love creating my own character in a game. Yeah, other than that, I don't really know what's the big draw about this game. I just know that people that love it love it. It's one of those games that like
Right.
people put hundreds of hours into. They just love replaying it and doing it again over and over again. And they're
Mm.
finally making a second one.
It looks dope. I'm not gonna lie, like, the gameplay that they showed for Dragon Dogma 2, looks cool. It looks very interesting. Um, Again, for me, it goes to how long is this game gonna be?
Yeah, I'm not sure how. I mean, action role playing game makes me think it's gonna be hefty, like at least a 35, 40
R
hour game.
Right.
I don't know if that's true. It is made by. I know the director of this game was the director of Devil May Cry 2, which was like one of that was a
Oh,
yeah a very high regarded Devil May Cry
yeah.
game.
That's pretty dope.
So that'll tell you a lot about what kind of game it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Very cool, very cool. Let's quickly talk because Sony had a bit of a section in this showcase to talk about the PSVR 2, which is selling like cold cakes, not like hot cakes, because nobody fucking has it.
It's selling like Bitcoin that is already been. It's selling like Phase Clan stock.
So they showed off what? Let me see. One, two, three, four, five, six games that were specifically for VR. I was not excited really. Because some of them were what the last one they showed was Beat Saber, which that's already been a thing, so cool. Resident Evil 4 VR mode, that's very cool, but like not a surprise. They've been doing that for all of these recent Resident Evil games, so but still very cool. They announced a new Five Nights at Freddy's game, Help Wanted 2, another VR game. Some game called Crossfire Sierra Squad, which is military shooter, looks pretty fucking boring.
That's funny because Crossfire exists on PC and it's like a pretty beloved game as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I didn't even realize that was gonna be. They're trying to make it a VR game. That is probably cooler than you think it is. There's something about Call of Duty in VR that's really fucking funny because you gotta like reload and shit. You know what I mean? There's just something about it.
Right.
There's another game like that that's on PC right now. I don't know the name of it, but it makes for some of the best content I've seen as far as VR content exists. I'm sorry, I'm going on a little bit of
Yeah.
a tangent, but there is
No, go,
there's
go.
one thing about VR where some games, based on like your height, like how high you are, when the camera
Uh-huh.
see you, it makes your height in the game. So if you're 12 and you're playing like, there was like a Star Wars game or something. If you're playing this like Star Wars mod and you're like
Oh,
12 years
no.
old and you're like 4'3", you'll just be a smaller fucking
You like
yeah,
Yoda?
you'll just be a smaller stormtrooper compared to everybody else, and it's just the funniest. It just makes the funniest shit for no reason, and I feel like
That's
that in a
really
military
funny.
shooter is just really funny. I don't know,
Yeah, no.
like that and like Western RPG kind of stuff, like a kind of Game of Thrones s thing. Is super funny.
Uh-huh.
Seeing
Oh,
people with
yeah.
sword and shield, and you're like 4'1". That's all I got. Crossfire can still absolutely suck, but
Right, yeah,
I'm
I mean,
excited if it's something like that.
that they talked about a game called Arizona Sunshine 2, which I didn't even know what one is. It's a zombie-ish game. It looks fun. Humor-wise, it looks cool, and it looks like a good time, but again, not enough people fucking I don't think these are fucking VR2 sellers. None
No.
of these games are VR2 sellers. This isn't Half-Life Alex, which they should get Half-Life Alex. If they wanna sell that shit, get Half-Life Alex on
It's
that
one of
shit.
those things where it's like, yeah, like you said, you have to have a seller, and I think at this point that like only the people that are going to buy are the people that already own it and then have nothing else to play and
Right,
want to feel like
right.
their investment makes sense. They're going to buy all these games just to make their investment
Yeah,
make sense. Because right now,
exactly.
VR2 is almost the same price as the console itself, and that is unacceptable. I'm
Ugh,
sorry, that's
ugh.
unacceptable. A lot of people are just getting their PlayStation 5s, period. And you also
Right.
want them to throw an extra double the price,
$500?
yeah,
Oof, oof.
to play
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
I will say though, there was one VR game, Synapse, that I thought looked pretty interesting in terms of idea and concept. You start out like you're like kind of like an assassin type of thing, and you're sneaking into a man's mansion or whatever. But then you like get trapped in his like mind palace, and you have to like use cool abilities to like navigate it and beat it. It looks pretty cool, but again, I'm not paying $500 for this one game.
I want to say it reminds me of something that's kind of akin to like Super Hot, which was a game that on
Yeah,
VR is amazing to play. I love playing Super Hot on VR, so it's
right.
like a little bit like based off of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like you said, not enough. It's just not enough.
Not enough. That's kind of how I feel about this entire showcase. Not enough.
Not
Not enough,
enough.
Sony. A little bit of a miss. Maybe you'll get it next time.
uh,
That's kind of it for me. I don't know if anything else popped out to you. There was some other stuff that was left on the table. Obviously, we didn't talk a lot of indie stuff, which cool, but again, it's
you
just
mean you don't care about Cat Quest?
I mean, look, I will not gonna lie. I okay, I forgot. I was like, Brian's gonna love this.
I ain't playing this fucking game. What the fuck is this shit? I
I
like the
was
art
like,
style.
it's a cat. It's got a cat in it. I'm gonna throw it to Brian.
I'm sold. It's got a cat in it. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look very fun to me. I'm not even gonna talk about it. It's not worth it. Uh, yeah, I mean, the big thing from the takeaway from this is worry. We're at
Yeah.
the end of May, going into June. We know Summer Games Fest is coming up. We know E3 got canceled, which because no one was coming to it. Is this what Sony has to show us?
I don't know.
Because we talked about this. We're about halfway, what's considered usually halfway through the console life cycle of PlayStation. It has just now become readily available where you don't have to wait for it anymore. And
Yeah.
there's maybe 10 good games that are worth playing on PlayStation right now.
Right.
That does not bode well for the
No.
future of console gaming right now. Xbox has even less. And that's
Yeah.
that's I don't know.
I don't know,
I
man.
don't know how I feel about this console generation. So I really hope that this was. I don't know why they called it a showcase. I wish they should have called it a state of play, and hopefully they have
Yep.
something to show next month.
I'm surprised that there was no Last of Us factions like nothing. Like where was Naughty Dog? Nothing from Sucker Punch. If there was doing a Ghost of Tsushima 2. Again, maybe we'll see these things at Summer Game Fest. But ooh, Sony, y'all should have. No one on the marketing team was like, guys, we ain't got nothing here.
They
Let's not make it an
they
hour.
really they gave us an hour to show a Spider Man. Is really what happened, and
Basically.
that's wild because we already knew about
Yeah.
it.
So we'll see. We'll see. I did want one last shout out to whatever this game's called, Sword of the Sea. I think it's from the people that made Journey. It looks dope. Cool. Still need to play Journey for
Yep.
one thing. But yeah, there's that. All right. That's it for me, Brian. Are you all set with this main topic of some sorts?
Yeah, I'm all Gucci.
Well, then, if that's the case, listeners, that means it is time for our final segment of the week, which we like to call Free for All, title pending. This is a segment, listeners, where we can kind of do whatever we want. Talk about our day, talk about life, recommend something. It's free for all. Brian, what you got for us this week?
So I decided to randomly do something I haven't done in a long time, and that is boot up Fortnite.
Oh,
For
boy.
people that know, I've only played Fortnite maybe a handful of times in my entire life. I was just trying to play with friends, things like that. It is super not for me, and I feel like in a lot of ways, I don't really like Battle Royale. I don't really like the ADHD nonsense of gaming that exists right now. Battle passes, paying money for skins, shooting people as Ariana
Mhm.
Grande, all that kind of shit. It's a whole lot for me. I can't really handle it. It's overwhelming. But I decided to boot it
Right.
up specifically yesterday and play with a friend. And what the fuck is this video game? What the fuck is this video game? There's a funny thing about Fortnite. I actually talk about it a lot, which is funny despite not playing it, because it is honestly the poster child of exactly what to do when you want to make a games as a service game. We know right
Right.
now we're in a weird position where it's like seemingly you would want to play your favorite game forever. Everyone thinks that. You know what I mean? Like if I could go back and
Mhm.
play Halo 2 and keep playing Halo 2 the same way I experienced it when 2005, whatever, that sounds amazing to me. But we all know that that dream doesn't exist because capitalism exists and everyone's money hungry, which leads
Right.
to a lot of games being underdeveloped, not finished, and just being poor experiences. Fortnite's
Yeah.
got that shit down pat, almost too down pat to the fact that it's worrisome. When I while playing this game, there was three separate collaborations going on during this game. So they have their season pass that gives them, a different, like they change stuff in the world, different
Mhm.
aesthetic, things like that all changed. So at one point, this game is about like a Japanese cyberpunk kind of thing. There's big cities and stuff in the world that you can go around and hang out in whatever. At the same
Mhm.
time, there's still Attack on Titan world where there's the rumbling and Titan shit. And
Oh,
I'm running
shit.
around in ODM gear and Thunder Spears and all that shit. And then also at the same time, I can swing around the world as Spider Man. This is all happening
What?
at the same time. They have
It's
two
too much.
collaborations
It's too
existing
much.
at the same fucking time. And that's what this game is just like. I think they're just trying to like super pump you full of like FOMO really bad, where you just feel like you're missing out on something that they just keep boom, boom, boom. Apparently, last week I didn't play
Right.
last week because I just started playing yesterday. Last week they had Star Wars in there. I don't know when that
Oh,
happened and when that time existed, but in whatever last week they had Star Wars and lightsabers and stuff, and that went away. Uh,
Jesus.
and
Good
they
lord.
immediately put Spider Man in there. Dragon Ball Z was in
That's
there
nuts.
recently. Like this game is so intense on making sure that you can never even have a single thought in your mind from boredom because you're always pumped
Right.
full of just the most shit ever. When I tell you I'm driving
Uh,
cars, I'm doing backflips off of motorcycles, I'm fishing, I'm swinging, I'm grinding
the goal of
rails,
this game is still to, like,
kill
to be the
people.
last team, right?
I mean, yes and
Or
no.
whatever.
They also recently released their edit mode with Unreal Engine 5, and that people have been building. People built Call
Oh
of
my
Duty in there to the
god.
point where they put a cease and desist where you can't build Call of Duty anymore. People made Call of Duty in
No.
Fortnite. You know Battlefront, like Battlefront and Battlefront 2 Star Wars?
Yeah.
People built Star Wars in that fucking game like
Holy
Battlefront.
shit.
Like the things that you can just come up with and things you can do in this
That's
game is it is the future. And I don't know why no one else can
it's the future.
like I hate to be that way because I don't like this game. I don't have fun when I play it. But I don't know. I don't know anyone else
This
is
is
doing it
how
like
Ready
this.
Player One begins.
Honestly, like I think like when we look at things like meta and stuff like that and seeing how poorly meta's doing, because
Right.
honestly they wasted 40 billion on a cracked out Second Life,
Oof.
which has existed
Oof.
since 2003 or some shit like that. This feels a lot more like it. And I've talked about it on the podcast before, where it's like when you think about it as just opening up your toy box and just pulling out a bunch of toys, that's really what it feels like for playing that game. It's
Right.
unfortunate that it's a money grab, but I just don't understand why no one else can do this. Because we talked about it in our last podcast with Overwatch. Overwatch wanted to do a games as a live service. They did the freemium model, where you had to pay for battle passes, things like that. They couldn't. They
Yeah.
couldn't keep up with it. They couldn't do it.
No.
Um, Fortnite still got it, bro.
Fortnite found the magic, man.
Fortnite
They
found the
found
magic.
they
Apparently, the magic
oof.
is having 3,000 employees and not firing them.
A boatload of money to get like licenses for all this shit.
I don't know
Yeah.
how they get the licenses for everything.
That's
Everything.
crazy.
Everything you can ever think of has been in Fortnite. And then Halo is over here trying to get you to buy soap to get a new skin. And like I just don't understand how these two things don't match up. Like Overwatch got its first collab with One Punch Man, and I don't think it did too well because they only brought like 3 skins and it didn't look
Huh.
very good. And
That
it
sucks.
just wasn't much. I don't know what it is about Fortnite that's just it's
I
the
don't
closest
know.
thing we have to perfection when it comes to this kind of version of game. I do hope that everyone else's failure in the lieu of Fortnite's success will make people go back to the drawing board and we stop this nonsense of
Right.
unfinished games coming out and then being made into whatever while also stealing your money.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
Yeah.
I hope. I hope that Halo 343 understood. I hope that Overwatch and Blizzard understood. I hope that was Avengers game. I hope they understood and just won't fucking do
Hmm.
that anymore. Don't stop. I want to hit their hand.
Yeah.
Stop.
Right. It's like, don't do it.
Stop
Get
it.
out of here.
Make a game.
Beat it.
Make it $60. Give it to us. Full game.
Right. That's it. Just be done with it.
Jesus. But yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. That's fun though. That's fun. That's so chaotic. Um, I just thought of something because I kind of forgot what I had done this week. I watched The Flash, the CW show, the series finale
Oh, that's the end of an era right there.
finally happened. 9 years. It's finally done. Yeah, it was fine.
I saw like a little like promotional post and I was like, God damn, this looks like shit. Uh,
Honestly, I was like, damn, y'all, this is how y'all go out, huh? Okay. All right. Bit of a whimper at times, but you did it, I guess. You crossed the finish line, even if you weren't in first place, but whatever. No, I mean, like, I'm happy it's done. I'm happy it's over. We have talked about this in the past of how the CW has said like the era of superhero shows is kind of dead, which I'm slightly worried about because Superman and Lois is actually still a phenomenal show, and it's probably going to get canceled.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's this one really felt like this was the end of this whole era of these shows. Again, yeah, I haven't been paying much attention. I think this probably should have ended a while ago. It's even background fodder. It's just kind of like, man, I really don't care about this. There are times where it's like, oh, that's cool, that's exciting, and then there's times where it's like, man, y'all have really got no money. But it did. It ended. I feel great. That's another show check mark that I never have to worry about again. It's a great feeling whenever that happens. I love it. That and I just binged the past week through a show on Paramount Plus called 1923. It's another one of the spin-off Yellowstone shows. It's got Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren in it. It's fine. It's again, it's background for me
Is
personally.
that Harrison Ford's first TV show?
It might be. I was genuinely surprised. I was like, "Oh, he's committed to this." Okay.
I
Okay,
don't know if
cool.
I know any other TV show. I mean, I guess I don't.
He's in another one on Apple TV now that I think
Huh.
about it, but yeah, he's just been diving into TV, so I'm like,
I
"Okay,
guess he's getting older. You got to get that money while you can.
maybe." Yeah, I don't know. He's fucking crashed too many planes. He spent too much money crashing planes and lost all his Star Wars money.
Hey, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it's fine. It's spoilers, not really. because it's already been announced. I'm pretty sure they're getting a season 2. So if you're looking for a show to end, this is not it. It does not end at
Damn
season 1.
it.
But yeah, it's fine. It's I'm not super attached to any of these characters really. I don't really care all that much, to be honest. But it's fine. It's a decent watch. Production values there most of the time. There are some times where there's some animals and effects that are like, "Ooh, that was pretty bad." But that's okay.
Paramount Plus is so weird because it's like it seems like they have money, but they don't. Like Halo looked
Yeah,
phenomenal at times, and then looked awful at other times.
I don't understand
And
it.
it's just like, do y'all have money or no? What's going on here? Sometimes it looks like
Right?
HBO, and sometimes it looks like Netflix. Like I don't.
Yeah,
There's no in between.
it's weird. And it's like not even like episode to episode, like within the same
Yeah,
episode.
absolutely. Yeah.
Bonkers. But yeah, that's for me. And as usual, shout out to God of War Ragnarok. Already, listeners, that is our show. Remember, you can email us at thefortressof@gmail.com. Fortress spelled FOUR. Feel free to email us any questions, feedback, recommendations, or anything like that. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at The Fortress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Follow the 3 R's like a beautiful Bollywood movie. Rate, recommend, and review us to all of your friends. Thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here. Even when you're not here, you can find Brian on Instagram at ITZ_by the way, Alex at Peterson Films, and Devin. We don't know, honestly, where he is at this moment. We're pretty sure he's alive.
He's playing
so
that Golem game.
Oh, man, it looks so bad, but I'm really genuinely
That
curious.
game looks despicable.
It looks like a PS2
What do
game.
they do?
Anyways. Oh, that's gonna make no money. Next week, listeners, I can't believe it's already time for this. Brian, I think it's time to fucking get back to Spider-Man and Into the Spider-Verse.
That's crazy. That's next week.
I think that's next week.
God damn.
That's crazy, but I'm excited. Should be a good time. And as usual, happy holidays, everyone. And put a code on. Let's code out there.
Grill up some hot dogs and some burgers and I don't know what people do on holidays that have to do with America.
I'll be drunk. Probably
Hell
at
yeah.
some point. Let's do it. All right, listeners. Be safe out there. And as usual, we'll see you here next week in another episode in the Fortress of. Oh, yeah. See, this definitely wasn't a mini-sode.